Hello, and welcome to the story. Today, we will listen to a tale about a lonely librarian who discovers a magical book. This book knows her name, her secrets, and her dreams. It helps her write a better ending for her life. This story is written in simple English, so you can listen, learn, and enjoy. Please sit back, relax, and let's begin. Elena lived in a small, quiet town. The town had a bakery, a few shops, a park, and one old library. Elena worked in that library. Every morning, she unlocked the big wooden doors. She dusted the shelves, she checked the books, she smiled politely at visitors. Elena loved books. Books were her friends. But even though she worked in a place full of stories, Elena felt her own story was empty. She had no close friends. She had no family nearby. When the library closed at night, she walked home alone. Her apartment was small. She made tea, she ate dinner quietly, she sat by the window and looked outside. She saw people laughing in the cafe. She saw children running in the park. She saw couples walking together under the streetlights. And she whispered to herself, "Why is my life so quiet? Why does it feel like my book has too many blank pages?" One evening, the sky was dark. Rain fell heavily, tapping against the library windows. Most people had gone home, but Elena stayed late. She wanted to put away some old books in the forgotten section of the library. This corner was dusty and dim. The shelves were tall. The light was weak. Hardly anyone visited this place. As she carried a stack of books, she noticed something strange. One book looked different. It was not dusty. It was not broken. It looked new. The cover was deep blue, the color of midnight. Golden letters shone softly on it. The title was The Life of Elena, her own name. She gasped. Her hands shook. "My name? On a book? How?" she whispered. She touched the cover. It was warm, almost alive. Elena looked around. No one else was there, only the sound of rain. Her heart beat fast. She opened the book. The first page was waiting for her. In clear letters, it said, "Elena wakes up every morning, lonely but brave. She hides her dreams, but her heart is full of stories waiting to be told." Elena gasped. "That's me," she whispered. She turned the page. She spends her days among books, greeting strangers with a smile. But at night, she wonders if anyone will ever truly know her. Tears filled her eyes. This was her life, her secret feelings, her private thoughts. Every page she read was her story, her childhood memories, her love for books, her lonely evenings. She closed the book quickly, but it glowed softly, as if asking her to open it again. Elena opened the book once more. It showed her past, her grandmother giving her the first library card when she was 7, her first visit to the library, touching the books with wonder. It showed her sadness, her parents arguing late at night, her best friend moving away, her promise to herself, "I will be strong, even if I am alone." Elena cried softly. The book was not just paper. It was a mirror of her soul. The pages turned on their own. They showed her sitting at the library desk, her cup of tea, her tired eyes, her smile that hid her loneliness. Then new words appeared. Elena feels invisible, but her story is not finished. She whispered, "Not finished? What does that mean?" The book glowed brighter. She turned to the next page. It was blank. Only one sentence appeared. Elena must choose how her story continues. Her hands trembled. The page shimmered. Then 3 paths appeared. Stay the same and live quietly. Take a risk. Speak her truth. Share her stories with the world. Elena stared at the words. Her heart beat loudly. All her life, she had chosen silence. But now, something inside her whispered, "Choose the 3rd path. Share your stories. Find your voice." The next morning, Eleanor woke up early. She looked at the library differently. It was no longer just a place of silence. It could become a place of voices. She decided to start something new, a storytelling circle. She made a small poster. "Story time at the library. Everyone welcome." At first, only 2 children came. They sat shyly, waiting. Eleanor read them a fairy tale. Her voice shook at first, but then it grew stronger. The children clapped. They asked, "Can we come again?" Eleanor smiled. "Yes, come again." The next week, more children came. A teenager sat in the back listening. Later, a teacher joined, curious. Elena read fairy tales, mysteries, and poems. Sometimes she acted out the characters. The children laughed and cheered. The library was no longer quiet. It was alive. People started talking to Elena. They said, "You have a wonderful voice. You make stories come alive. You should write your own." For the first time in years, Elena felt seen. Through the circle, Elena made friends. A retired man named Mr. Harris told her, "I used to write poems. May I share them?" She said yes. A young writer named Mia asked, "Can you read my story and give advice?" Elena smiled and agreed. A teacher invited her to speak at the school. The book glowed again that night. It showed her surrounded by friends. Words appeared. Her story is no longer lonely. One evening, Elena opened the blue book again. Inside, she found a letter. It said, "Dear Elena, your story was always yours to write. The book only reminded you of your courage. Now the pen is in your hands." Elena touched the page. It felt warm, like a heartbeat. She whispered, "Thank you." Elena took a pen. She opened the blank pages at the back. She began to write. "I will travel and see the world. I will help children love reading. I will write my own book." As she wrote, the words glowed. Her dreams became real inside her heart. She no longer felt empty. She was the author now. One morning, she searched for the blue book. It was gone, but she was not afraid. She smiled and whispered, "I don't need it anymore. The book is inside me." Her courage, her voice, her story. She was no longer the lonely librarian. She was Elena, the storyteller, the dreamer, the author of her own life. And maybe one day the book would appear again for someone else who needed it. So, dear listener, remember this. We are all writing our stories. Sometimes life feels lonely. Sometimes the pages are empty. But just like Elena, you can choose. You can share your voice. You can write your dreams. You can change your ending. The book that knew her name helped Elena, but you have your own book. It is called your life, and the pen is in your hands.